What's good, kids? So, it's so great to hear you and talk to you today. Excuse me for my voice being a little hoarse today. It's because my voice is a little bit out, but it's good to hear you today, bro.
Hey, what's up, brother? Yes, I'm with my man, Doc West, Nino West from Breakfast Club. Yeah, what up, Doctor the one and only, Doc West. What up?
What's good?
Yeah, so right now you got two members of the six, you said, from Breakfast Club, so what's good?
What's good? It's good to talk to you, especially you guys on the phone. Didn't expect to have that happen today, but I want to talk about the Breakfast Club before we get to the new album known as Life After Death, a little tribute album for Schoolboy. Of course, the anniversary of his death is coming up very soon. I want to go ahead and talk about Breakfast Club first. What is Breakfast Club?
Well, Breakfast Club, you know what I'm saying, it's not a group, it is a club, you know what I'm saying. We are the only club in the movement. It originally started with my man, me and Nino West. Nino West is an R&B singer, and I met him at a video shoot, and we became friends, you know what I'm saying, through the music. And at first, originally, we was, working his music only. You know, that's like, if you are a real Breakfast Club fan, the original records were R&B records, you know, with rap hooks, but they were R&B records. You know what I'm saying? They weren't the greatest records, but we were, it was new to us. You know what I'm saying, with the jerk movement being new and everything. So yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so like 2008, 2009, we had R&B records, and Alon Isaiah at that time was the name he was going under, and he was the R&B jerk. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't actually have Breakfast Club at that time. We was working just a few records. I had just started working at a lot of footwear. You know what I'm saying? So it was brand new. The movement was brand new. Yeah, You're a Jerk was just blowing up. The Fresh Boys was going up. You know what I'm saying? Taya Third, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was real brand new. And we were starting up, you know what I'm saying, to do the music. He had came up with a song, and he's a rapper on the song. And he asked me, could I do a verse? So I told him yes, and I wrote my verse, and we recorded that, and that was actually the first rap, you know what I'm saying, version of what we was doing a la, you know what I'm saying, Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Nam Quest is the producer and artist, you know what I'm saying, from Breakfast Club. You'll hear him real soon. So we added Nam Quest's sound in there, and then Fly Kid I met through the New Boys. I was doing PR work for the New Boys, public relations for that first album, and I met Fly Kid. Fly Kid was 13 years old, and we signed to a small label called Arsenal Records, and we put out the Super Jerkin compilation. And on the very first Super Jerkin compilation, you had Fly Kid, and he had a song called Like I'm Jerkin' on there, which was produced by Nam Quest. And then Breakfast Club had a song on there, along with YG, you know what I'm saying, Taya Third, Pink Dollars. You know what I'm saying, everybody was on that compilation. So when cats think that YG did not come out the jerk movement, he came out the jerk movement. You know what I'm saying, so did Kid Ink. You know what I'm saying, so did, you know what I'm saying, Ty Dolla Sign, everybody that's popping on the West Coast, DJ Mustard, they all came out the jerk movement.
Wow.
They all got their start with the jerk movement. So we hooked up with another producer from the first ever Breakfast Club named King X, and King X joined the group. So at that time it was King X, Nam Quest, Nino West, Kid Soul, and Fly Kid. And because we're all from different parts of, you know what I'm saying, some are from Cali, some are from the Valley, I'm from New York City, you know what I'm saying, I came to, you know what I'm saying, to the group, and I was like, yo, we should call ourselves the Breakfast Club, like the movie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that time, they never seen the movie, so I was like, look, go see the movie, and then get back at me, and then a couple days later, everybody's like, yeah, we like the name, we're going to stick with it. You know what I'm saying? So King X came over, and he played a song called Head, Shoulders, Knees, Jerk. And I was, at the time, like I said, you said, working for Volato, and I was real tight with all a young dancer in there by the name of Schoolboy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but Schoolboy wasn't in our group. He was in the LOL Kids, and I hadn't met him yet. I would always hang out with Fly and FaZe and all of, but I didn't hang out with Schoolboy yet. So LOL came over and we was recording and we did Head, Shoulders, Knees Jerk, and they was like, yo man, you gotta meet Schoolboy. You gotta meet Schoolboy.
Yeah, it was funny because before we did the Head, Shoulders, Knees Jerk record, we did this record called Clap 'Em In.
Yeah, we did Clap 'Em In.
Mm-hmm.
The LOL Kids.
Yeah, we had worked with the LOL Kids a few times, and Schoolboy would be with them a few times, and we didn't even know he rapped.
Yeah, he hadn't rapped yet.
That one time.
Oh my.
When we got the Head, Shoulders, Knees Jerk record, the beat was kind of like fast. I don't know if you remember it, but a couple of them, you know what I'm saying, didn't really like it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them didn't want to rap to it or whatnot. So Schoolboy liked it though.
Yeah.
Schoolboy said, I can rap on that. And we were like, you can rap? And we were like, go ahead, because we wanted another, you know what I'm saying, we wanted them to do it. We wanted somebody from LOL Kids to be on the song. And I don't know how many of them we were at the time.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, like there was like 6 of them in there. So by the time we got the Schoolboy rapping, that's when we really, you know, got closer to him. You know what I mean? That's when we started inviting him over and just invited him to be in the group.
And that the first record he did was the Bite Me record. Now originally the Bite Me record or his verse for Bite Me wasn't supposed to be for Bite Me.
Yeah.
It was to something else.
Yeah. And that was before we officially made him a member.
Yeah, that's before he officially became a member of the group. That's why in the beginning, if you know the record Bite Me, in the beginning it says Breakfast Club featuring Schoolboy because he wasn't in the group yet.
So that explains a lot. Man, you guys got a lot of history, man. It's so hard.
We're going to be putting all that out because all those original sessions, we filmed them. Yeah. So those are videos that you haven't seen yet of us, you're saying, recording the Bite Me record, recording Clap 'Em In, recording Head, Shoulders, Knees Jerk. We have all that on film. You know what I'm saying? 5, 6 year old or 5 years ago, these videos, and we're going to be putting those videos out. So we have like a real big history of how we put Breakfast Club together. But basically, what happened was Schoolboy wanted to pursue the music, so he came to me and said, yo, so can I join Breakfast Club? I asked the rest of the members, was it okay? And of course they said yes, and I called him back, I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying, you in. So therefore it stopped being features, and he was an official part of the group. So the group went from Schoolboy, Fly Kid, Kidso, Nam Quest, and Nino West, and then King X was producing, so it was 6 of us. And Schoolboy came and he was like, yo, if you really like the way I rap, you gotta add my brother, which was School Kid. So School Kid eventually came into the group, but he wasn't on the first album.
So, you know, like, really, to be honest with you, you guys, that's how you guys became that group of, which is known as all over the country, and, you know, in the jerking movement as well. And, you know, like, let me tell you, you guys do a very good job in so many things that you guys been doing for the movement, especially when people who were in there and now they left the jerking movement to do other things, of course. You know, like, at that moment, like, now that the whole group is formed, did you think that it was going to be possible that you guys are going to, like, you know, doing what you're doing? And, you know, like, I got to tell you, that was unbelievable. But tell me about that. How did that came in all into a cause and effect?
Well, really, realistically, I mean, me and Nam Quest, we have been doing music for a long time, you know, prior to the jerk movement, you know what I'm saying, before it actually, like, developed and formed. I mean, cause, like, a lot of people don't know that the jerk movement, I mean, the jerk alone, if you want to consider the dancing aspect of it, it was an inner city dance, you know what I mean? Like, it was a hood dance, you know, in layman terms or whatever, so it didn't start out with mulatto and jerking and, you know, a lot of it. It was way before. It was in the inner city and parts of the city, like, a lot of people that are fans of it wouldn't even think of going, you know, so once we got wind to it and everything, everybody got, as far as California in the last 5 years, everybody got their start, like, professionally with the music, started getting their fan base based around jerking. So when me and Nam Quest were working, we realized that jerking, hey, this thing, I came back to him and told him, because, like, I was in LA, because, like I said, we're from different parts, Breakfast Club, we're from different parts of California, so I'm in the San Fernando Valley in California. So it just ain't no West, if just in case you're not
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now I know, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
You know,
but yeah, so like I was in LA, I found out about Jerkins and one of my friends that I was working with came back to Non-Question, told him that it was like really getting big, and we just were trying to figure out a medium. And this was great timing. I met Soul, and Soul was like, I've worked with a lot of Jerkins. He was already into the movement and everything. I was just getting way into the jerk movement when I met Soul. You know what I'm saying? Then once I heard you're a jerk, and it really blew up, I was like, oh wow, so okay, it's serious now. And then so we pretty much just adapted to what we were doing musically, and that's how the group formed. Because me and Non-Quest were trying to get more fans. We were trying to get heard. We were like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
how are we going to get seen and everything like that?
yeah.
Okay, well, this kind of music is what they want to hear. We know how to make that kind of music. And
Yeah.
then with the blessing of meeting Soul, Soul was like, well, I'm the plug to give it to the people. I know all these people that want to hear this music, and you guys know how to make it. So that's how we really clashed and came together. It was like, y'all make the music, quarterback it, pass it to Soul, and now everybody has it. Like the Bite Me record, we didn't really expect the Bite Me record to go as fast as it did. We were making so many records at the time. It was, we have so many songs even right now. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of cut off like for this album. Like we got so many songs on the album now, but we keep finding songs. We're like the track listing probably won't be official till like top of next week or something like that. But we were always recording. And then when what happened with it? Video or
with the this is so.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
so to finalize that part is, basically, we were living in the moment. We didn't know the group was going to do what it was going to do like that. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying? We just was trying to put out the best music that we possibly could. You know what I'm saying? And we just love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't about money or getting bitches or, you know what I'm saying, getting a fancy car and shit. Like, we just love rap. You know what I'm saying? We love music. You know what I'm saying? We love dance. You know what I'm saying? So it just it all came together. And, 5 years later, we still, doing what we love.
And you know what, like, really, to be honest with you, as this movement is almost about a decade old, you got a lot of people who are still in this movement, like myself, RAYNOS-APKNEWS, and before it was RAYNOS-APKNEWS at the time. At that time, a lot of people in this movement still around that time, was hype at that then. But when we reached to the point where 2011 and 2012 came by, that's when things started to die down. My question is, and this is coming from me, this is not from APKNEWS, this is James APK himself. My question is that, like, do you think that people left the movement not only because they left for the wrong reasons for being in the movement? Do you think that it also mean that could bullying and also arguments come into an effect? And if so, because there's a lot of people who are in this movement and they came in this movement just to have fun and get away from drama, and all of a sudden drama has stirred up inside. What do you think about what's been happening throughout all these years?
Things, in life, with dance, anything else, is always going to be peaks and valleys. Now, if you understand what I mean by that, it's always going to have highs, and then you have lows. There's people that are very persistent about what they're doing and what they think they want to do that last. You know what I'm saying? That give you the longevity. You know, you're not going to always, be at the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, know how to conserve your stuff and know how to spread yourself. What happens is, some people just do things just because other people do. Okay, well, I'm gonna wear these shoes because everybody's wearing them. You say, or I'm gonna wear Hollister because everybody's wearing Hollister. Well, why am I wearing a surf company's clothing? For what? You're saying, what are they doing for me? Why am I supporting them? You know what I'm saying? But because people, follow trends and follow whatever is cool, is if everybody's dyeing their hair red, I'm gonna dye my hair red. If everybody's dyeing their hair blonde, I'm gonna dye my hair blonde.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that we're in control of the market. If we say, look, we're not buying Nike no more, Nike goes out of business.
Yeah.
If we say we're not, gonna eat McDonald's no more, McDonald's goes out of business. We're the ones that are the consumers. You're saying we're the ones that make you hot.
Yeah.
We're the ones that get you popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's how things of you guys, you know what I'm saying, are the eccentric people, the artists, the people that draw, colorful people, the dancers. You know what I'm saying? The other 5% are the real extravagant people, like, you know what I'm saying, like Lady Gaga, like way out there with it, or Marilyn Manson, like way out there with it. That other 90% are the safe people in the middle. You know what I'm saying, that just wear black and white. You know what I'm saying, I'm just going to wear white tennis shoes and a white shirt and black jeans. I don't have no color in my wardrobe. They're just real bland. And those are the ones that do all the shit talking. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, you got green hair and blue shoes? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that people are just too safe to live life. Life is just going to pass them by. They're going to live and they're going to die, and that's it. They're not going to enjoy life. There's going to be no color in their life.
All right.
We are the eccentric people. We're people that we're not going to follow that rule. We're not going to do it just because everybody else is doing it. We're going to challenge the authority. We're not going to do it because you say it's right. We're going to question it. You say, is it supposed to be like that? Or why? You say, why do I have to do it like that?
Yeah.
You say, you know, it's okay to follow and it's okay to lead.
Yes.
You got to know exactly what you're doing. A kid told me earlier today, he was like, you know, he told me I was a sheep herder and everybody in the movie was just sheep following me. And I told him, I said, you know what? Jesus was a sheep herder.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll follow him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's exactly what the movement is. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being a sheep or being a sheep herder as long as I'm leading you somewhere positive. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't need to make $1 off of it. I'm doing it from my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it from my soul. I'm doing it because I love it. And if I make money, that's great. If I don't make any money, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to, my advice is, you know what I'm saying, don't let somebody tell you what you can't do. If you're doing it because you love it, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the news. You've been doing the news. People supporting you. You know what I'm saying? You got people that respect you. For those who don't, then let them be. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's their opinion. It's like an asshole. We all got one.
All right. Yeah, you have to excuse.
I'm not mad about it.
I understand, but please be careful on the swearing. Everybody, I apologize because
I'm sorry about that.
he's a little real. He's real.
I'm a little older, so you know, I'll definitely watch my tone.
Yeah, but you know, once again, everybody, he is just being honest, so I apologize for that. But as you know, he's one of the realest peoples in the movement and one of the biggest leaders in the movement. I want to go to my second question and then might go to my last question on the album. This time it's getting real. Schoolboy. And you know, like really, I remember listening to Schoolboy, and you know, like really, he is such a gifted person, and he is such a talented person. But on the day, April 16th, 2013, just a day when we got attacked, the day after the Boston bombing, and it was a horrible week. It was just a horrible week. It was a horrible week. And I was at work on April 17th. I did not expect to know anything was going to happen, especially people in this movement. On April 16th, what happened just hours before Schoolboy went home to the Lord?
Well, you know, April 16th is the day Schoolboy passes, also like his birthday. Yeah. You saying? So, you know, I was at home early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm up early in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm up talking to people overseas, so I'm constantly, you know what I'm saying? And Elsa, you know what I'm saying, one of the two-tone twins, she hits me up and she's like, yo, what's this about Schoolboy getting killed in a car accident on the internet? And I'm like, you know, what are you talking about? And she's like, go log on the internet right now, and it's all over the internet. So I log on to the internet, and it's all over the place.
I know.
So instantly, I call School Kid, and it's going straight to his voicemail. So I start calling his grandmother, going straight to her voicemail. You know what I'm saying? So I get in touch with Young Ace. You know what I'm saying? And Young Ace is like, yo, it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's true. I'm 100% sure. And I asked him like 10 times, like, bro, are you sure? And he's like, he was like, yes, I'm 100% sure. Last night, you know what I'm saying, early in the morning, he was in a car accident, you know what I'm saying, and he got killed. School Kid got ejected from the car.
Yeah.
And, you know, two other girls that was in the car lost their life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Then I called Nino West, and I called Nom Quest, and then I started taking calls from everybody, like, yo, what's going on with Schoolboy? What's going on with Schoolboy? And we were supposed to have a show that Friday, and it's just a hard.
Yeah.
It was just a hard. It's in. Yeah, it's tragic. This Nino I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's Nino. It was just tragic. Like, I didn't even really believe. Like, I thought it was a joke as well. And that's not really too much to say about.
Yeah.
I mean,
I understand, and I understand what you guys were going through at that time, and I was shocked myself. I was really upset. I was at work at the time, as I was leaving lunch at the time, and I heard about it. I was in disbelief, and it was when I looked at KTLA, I was like watching it on the internet, and like screaming, "Get him out! Get him out!" But it was just, it was just unbelievable. But something, like, now that we are coming to the anniversary, now that we're coming in, you guys released a new album, and it's an album, and this is the last question. It's the album called Life After Death, and excuse me, I'm a little emotional on this one because it's so real. But I listened to it, and I gotta tell you, I know Schoolboy will be really amazed on how y'all dedicate this album to him. And my question is, what if he was there right now, alive to this day, would you want to tell him?
I mean, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna let Ron his soul. I'm gonna talk to him a little long time. I mean, Schoolboy, when I first met him, one of the things he told me, he was like, yo, I've always wanted to do music, and he thanked me.
Yeah.
He was like, he thanked me for giving him an opportunity to come out and do his records. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real humble. I'm like, man, don't thank me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm thanking him. You know for, he's just loyal. Like, it was layers of Schoolboy. You had like the Breakfast Club version, you had the Fan 4 version, you had the Schoolie Gang version. So he had so many different layers of his music, but he always stayed loyal to Breakfast Club. You see, and whenever he did records outside that, you always hear BC in his records. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we might have put out a record for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you would hear 3 or 4 records from Breakfast Club because we were constantly doing music. It's just so hard to. The reason why this album took so long is because it was hard to want to do Breakfast Club records.
Yeah.
It was hard for us to want to be like, okay, cool, we want to go back to doing records, without him. You know what I'm saying? So, with Breakfast Club, with having 6 guys in the group, there's time, you can't put all 6 of us on every song.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where you hear just Schoolboy and School Kid, where you hear just Fly Kid and myself, where you hear Nino West and Quest. You know what I'm saying? It's rarely you hear us all. We don't even have a picture with all 6 of us in it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's not a picture that exists with all the members standing beside each other. It's because we're not always in the same place at the same time because of our lifestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the oldest in the group. I got a family. You know what I'm saying? I have so many situations. Cats live in the valleys. Out of state. There's so many different situations. So
yes, exactly.
Together. But the music brings us together. You know what I'm saying? And Schoolboy was a big part of that. That's why when I make the records and when we put out the records, you know what I'm saying, it sounds like he's not gone. You know what I'm saying? With this new Past That record that we put out, you know what I'm saying, when he comes on, he's like, it's Schoolie, and we back. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like he recorded it yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It sounds like he recorded it yesterday, and that's exactly how we mix these records. You know, so when you hear his voice, it's like he's right there with you. You know, his presence, you're gonna feel his presence on the album. You know, we call it the album Life After Death because the music is gonna bring life after his death. You know, his voice is gonna bring you back to his life.
Yes.
It's gonna make you go back and celebrate his life. You know, even though he's gone.
Yeah.
And be happy about the Breakfast passed away. This record is for you. You know what I'm saying? When I talk to you, I don't talk to you as, you know what I'm saying, no superior. I don't talk to you as your leader. I talk to you as a friend. I talk to you as, you know what I'm saying, your equal. I talk to you as another member of the Jerk movement. I talk to you as an artist. I talk to you as soul. I give you everything I got. You know what I'm saying? Without any judgment, any nothing. I just give you everything. I don't ask for anything in return. All I want you to do is listen to the records. If you like the records, man, thank you. If you don't like the records, thank you too. You see, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I want people to know that Breakfast Club is here. You know what I'm saying? That Schoolboy is here.
And, this is, you know, you're just piggybacking off of what he said. Like, if what was here, we were just really, we were just proud of him, because at the end of the day, Schoolboy was, he was real consistent. We watched him grow. You know what I mean? Like, we watched him get it, because I mean, just like I said, if you can go back to the last time, and once you hear the new one, you'll just hear how his flow and his raps and his metaphors, how he was getting more into himself as an artist and everything like that. And then on top of that, he was really starting to get into his fans. He was starting to get more persistent deep in his fans.
Yeah.
Once he got wind to people being aware of Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
and being aware of Fighting Record, and being aware of him, because he really, like, he knew a lot of people in LA. You know what I mean? He has a lot of friends, and you know, disrespect that he was the main one. He, like Soul said, he was always saying DC and all the records, because there was a time where he might, if Breakfast Club didn't put out a record, Schoolboy might put out his song with young Ace or whoever who he's working with at the time, but he'll still say DC and then go about and do his record, still let it be known, keep the root of it involved. You know, he never forgot where the jump ball came as far as the music is concerned, and we just watching him grow on the web and everything like that, where he was doing his own videos and everything like that, you know.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand. But my time is running out right now. Right now my battery's about to die right now on my computer. But thank you so much for talking with me today on RAYNOS-APKNEWS on this extra today, and you know, on this interview. I really appreciate this. Everyone, Kid Soul featuring Nino West on here, members of the Breakfast Club, everyone. And I'll see you on the latest news on RAYNOS-APKNEWS programs, and also on the Movement Journal. From me, Kid Soul, on the phone, Nino West. From us, goodbye everybody, and God bless each and every one of you. Bye bye everyone.